given the fact that solar is so much cheaper than any other source of electricity in the country, it does become the natural choice for future capacity additions.
Welcome to The Switch. I'm Elena Casas. India is the world's second largest consumer of energy after China, and last year 73% of it came from coal. India's greenhouse gas emissions are still going up as electricity demand soars, underscoring the challenge of moving away from carbon while providing power for 1.4 billion people. India has committed to generating 500 gigawatts of power from renewable sources by 2030, of which more than half is expected to come from solar. By the end of 2022, India had installed a total of 63 gigawatts of solar power. That's far short of the government's 100 gigawatt target. Well, India's largest renewable energy provider is Renew, and its chief executive, Sumant Sinha, joins me now. Sumant, hi. These renewable energy targets from the Indian government are incredibly ambitious, aren't they? Do you think they're feasible?
I absolutely think so, Elena. And for the reasons that you mentioned, it is absolutely imperative for India to actually achieve the targets. 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030 means an addition of another 300 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity needs to be set up between now and 2030. Which is the next 7 years, which is also why India is probably one of the most attractive and incredible sort of investing opportunities in the clean energy space over the next several years.
Tens of millions of Indians still don't have power to their homes at all. As the Indian government works to connect the country's remote villages, electricity production from coal increased 12.4% last year, something the government says is justified by its lower per capita emissions. Last year, India announced its biggest ever auction for coal mines, but Renew says the need to connect the vast country is a $500 billion green opportunity.
With power demand in the country growing quite dramatically at about 6 to 8% every year, that demand is there. The question is that demand going to be met by solar or not? I think given the fact that solar is so much cheaper than any other source of electricity in the country, it does become the natural choice for future capacity additions.
Of course, this provides an opportunity for you, but are you able to scale up what you provide at enough pace?
I think so. I think that should be possible. Look, we're already going at the rate of about 15 to 20 gigawatts a year right now. That has to, of course, be stepped up almost 2 or 3 times. It doesn't have to, of course, happen tomorrow, but certainly over the next 2 to 3 years, we do need to increase the pace to 2 or 3 times of what we're doing right now.
One obstacle to doing so might be the cost of solar panels. India has slapped a 40% target on panels coming from China, the world's leading manufacturer, in an effort to encourage domestic production. India nonetheless imported $3 billion worth last year. Renew hopes to make those in the country instead.
We decided, because we are a big buyer of these panels, we decided to essentially manufacture them ourselves. To supply to ourselves, and our first 4 gigawatt plant to manufacture modules has now come on stream, and so we're going to be supplying to ourselves, and that really gives us a level of supply security for us as a company. And then I think in the fullness of time, as the industry becomes bigger and matures and other people come in as well, then you'll have self-sufficiency in solar equipment supply within the country itself.
How urgent is it, Sumant, that you meet these targets?
I think popular support for this decarbonization effort is the fact that India does have fairly high pollution levels as well. And I think, therefore, there is a very strong reason for India to decarbonize and to do whatever it can do to make sure that the level of pollution in the environment does go down.